Welcome back to my channel, Russ Alien. We'll just roll with it, and now a lot of people are just walking by. It's crazy. This is literally a street where people are walking by and they probably can hear me how I speak. As you can see, people over there staring. So yeah, it's a little bit awkward. It took me about 15 minutes to set up. I've set up this camera, the tripod and the light. And yeah, basically trying to change the scene. Right at the moment I started to record, a lot of people are passing by. But as we did the video in public, we should build up our confidence and be more confident filming in public. Let's roll with it. As usual, 10 minutes, off we go. Alright guys, today I have decided to change the scenery a little bit and film from my coffee shop that I've been talking about for the past 22 videos. So it's day number 23 today, and basically filming, learning how to film, learning how to speak to camera confidently. And that's what I've been doing for the past 22 days. So including today will be 23rd day. I really appreciate guys, again, for those who subscribe. I have 69 subscribers now. So yesterday I had 52. If you check out my video yesterday, I had 52. Now I have 69. It's a crazy jump. Do you know what I mean? I'm really excited, and that's why I decided to, you guys motivated me to go ahead and change the scenery a little bit. So I hope this is a little bit more exciting to you, a bit more interesting rather than sitting at home. And yeah, so let's go with it. So today I had a busy day. Woke up about 6 a.m. or so. Had a pretty busy day at this coffee shop and finished about 4 p.m. Quite exhausted, fatigued, and had a meeting with one of my co-workers, I would say, or yeah, probably co-workers, and had a great chat to him about social media, the content that he's trying to pursue with his social enterprise, etc. Then went home, had some dinner that my sister cooked. It was quite delicious. It was some pasta with some homemade sauce. It was absolutely crazy. I was like, man, how did you even make it? It's like restaurant grade, you know what I mean? Anyhow, that's how my day went. Now I'm in the coffee shop. Came from home to here to actually set up and film from here for 10 minutes or so, which usually doesn't take 10 minutes. It takes for at least 1 hour, because you have to set up, you have to get right with your thoughts and basically prepare, especially that people are walking by and watching how I speak. I'm on Hardware Street. My coffee shop is called Alien and Coco. And why Alien? Because obviously, as I mentioned to you previously, I've started like social media 3.5, 4 years ago. I've done TikTok, Instagram. I have quite a bit of following there, and that's probably why I've called it Alien in the first place, because my social media name is Russ Alien, and Coco is my business partner's puppy, basically. If you're around, come say hello and check out our coffee and sandwiches. So I think today, we still have about 7 minutes to go. I think today we're going to talk about confidence and why one would have to build their confidence and how to build it. I'm not an expert on that. And if you feel not confident enough, probably my story would hopefully motivate you and make you take the first baby steps in improving your confidence. I'm not saying that I'm overly confident, obviously, because even talking to the camera, I was struggling in my first few days, and as you can see, I think I'm a little bit better speaking to this black hole lens here in front of me. And I think it wasn't easy to come to a point where your confidence is at a level that you're satisfied with. When back in primary school, I was literally sitting in a classroom by myself whilst all my classmates went out on a break and break and played around with each other and befriended each other. I was sitting in the classroom by myself, alone, trying to make homework, pretending to make homework. But I wasn't actually making homework. I was just shy to go out and speak to someone or make friends. So it was literally from grade number 1 till grade, I think, 5 or 7. I was literally that shy person who was not confident in himself, and I was really like introverted. I was closed up and I couldn't even speak well. Believe it or not, that's the true story. And slowly I started to getting out of that zone, that comfort zone, I believe, because in me, my thoughts are telling me that I don't want to be that shy guy sitting in the classroom by myself, alone, not making friends. And at that time, I met few friends who were outgoing guys. They never attended not never attended classes, but they skipped a lot of classes, and they were just hanging around all the time, doing something fun. And I was thrived. I was like, let me try that. Let me experience what they experience. I was studying very well, and my grades were, mostly A's, if we call it in Western terms, A pluses, A's. And when I met those guys, I've actually started declining in my studies, and some of my teachers were telling me that, oh, Russ, you probably have to reconsider your friends' choices and go back to study as you were studying before, like a nerd. And I was basically a nerd, to be honest with you. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't speak to anyone, it was crazy hard. And once I've started going out with those boys, obviously, you become who you surround you with. So I start skipping classes, my grades sort of went pretty low, and there's so many people walking by. But anyway, my grades became quite bad, but eventually I did finish school on like B pluses, A pluses, because I did reconsider my friends' choices later on, because I realized that skipping classes and not going to studies, etc., it's not going to be good for your future. But so many stories are nowadays that college or school is not important. I'm not for that. I'm against that. You still have to go to school, you still have to get that basic knowledge, and then from there you decide what you want to do in life. That's my take on it so far. But anyhow, so throughout the years, so we still have 3 minutes to go. Throughout the years, that's when I started going out of my comfort zone. And when I studied in England as well, there was a similar situation. I started alone, then I met my friends there, which were outgoing, and did crazy stuff with them as well. And that was pretty character building. I built up some character there because people or mates around me start recognizing me as an outgoing social person, and that's when my confidence started building and solidifying. Then after I came to Australia 14 years ago, I've been working crazy hard. In uni, I didn't really have many friends. I had mates here and there, and some maybe 1 or 2 friends. Obviously, people say that it's not about the quantity of the friends, but the quality. So I did have good quality friends, but I still felt quite shy. So where was the stepping stone when I started feeling confident in myself? It was when I got a job, and the job involved me walking around the suburbs with power boards and chimney balloons, knocking on the doors and trying to sell those electrical power boards and chimneys. So every electrical power board I sell, I get $10, and every chimney I blew into the house's chimney, I get $20. So I've worked there for about 3 or 3.5 years. Not 3.5 years, 3.5 or 4 months, and my confidence went through the roof. at a point where if people refuse me sometimes, I didn't want to intrude or be rude or anything like that, but I probably was I did some like crazy hard sales, if you can call it that way. So basically there was this grandfather and grandmother. They opened the door, they didn't speak English, they were from Chinese background, and they said no, they didn't even understand what I'm trying to sell them. So what I did is I put my foot against the door and what's the thing called around the door, and they couldn't close the door because my foot was there. And eventually they were quite scared, but then I reassured them afterwards. Oh, 0 minutes. All right, a little bit more left, about 2 minutes to go. So yeah, I reassured them. They called their son or daughter who spoke English, and I explained everything to them, and I eventually set up the power board in their house and got $10. So that's when I think my confidence went through the roof, because you shouldn't give up when people say no to you. You have to try harder and make sure that you don't give up. Basically, you push, and then things will come to you. You ask and you shall receive it, if you know what I mean. Anyhow, that's how it all started. And then I found a job. So I'm an accountant by trade. I'm a CPA qualified accountant. I worked in a asset management firm for about 3 years. It's basically a job. You sit in front of a computer all day and don't interact with anyone except the cubicle that you're in. So 1, 2, 3 people that were behind me and on the right side. I never talked. I was not confident again. I think I just realized now the confidence comes in waves like this. So if you don't practice the confidence, it diminishes, but then when you start again, it goes up higher and higher, even better. So you become even more confident after you start building it again. So after accounting job, I was sick of it. That's why I quit after 3 years, because it was just not my thing, even though I started accounting and finance, and I graduated bachelor's in that particular subject. But then after that, I had an opportunity and I found a job where I was a consultant. And I think that's where everything started, and that's where I started to be even more confident, because I went out there, spoke to committee members who are professionals, businessmen, entrepreneurs, accountants, lawyers, etc. And I wasn't great in the beginning because I couldn't communicate well, but through the tears and hard work, I have learned how to speak to committees and chair people of different high rises, 400 apartments in the building, 1,000 apartments in the building. And yeah, at the end of my journey, I worked for that company for about 5 years, which I can tell you a story about later on. Today is more about confidence, but throughout those 5 years, I think I have achieved quite a lot in terms of communication. Before that company, I probably wouldn't even be able to sit down and speak to the camera like this, even though this 30-day challenge taught me quite a lot from day one, because it's different, right? When you sit in front of committee members and sitting in front of a camera by yourself talking to no one, basically. At least there you have the interaction, you have the questions going, and you try and have a brief introduction and then answer the questions back and forth. But here nobody asks you a question, so you just have to basically talk to yourself. That's why it's different, and I think these are my stages in building up confidence. So now I'm more confident speaking to the camera. If you compare me to day one, let me know in the comment section below if you think I improved. So yeah, that consulting job improved me quite drastically, but before I actually improved, I really wanted to confidently speak to the committee members, because they were all smart and talkative and communicative. Like, I wasn't at that level yet. That's why one of the reasons why I started TikTok and Instagram, to improve that confidence, and that's where everything even more skyrocketed. I went out there, I started doing things in public. If you want to check out my TikTok or Instagram, it's at russ.alien, and you will see what some of the craziest stuff I've done there. I sang in public on a microphone. I did a lot of skits. I've approached a lot of people. I interviewed a lot of people, and that gave me even a greater boost in confidence. Then I quit my 5-year job, and my confidence sort of dropped a little bit again, and that's where I'm restarting now with the 30-day challenge, speaking to the camera. So that's my short story here. Sorry I went a bit above time. I hope this motivates you to start from somewhere, because if you learn how to become confident, you obviously have to take that first step. Whether approach someone in public and just ask them what time it is. Approach that crush you had for ages and just ask her for her name. And those little things, they actually build your confidence. Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, you layering brick by brick. So those small steps in your life will actually lead you to become more confident. And once you feel a bit more confident, you take 2 more steps. But that 2 more steps is, instead of asking what time it is, be like, okay, could you please let me know where Parliament Station is, or could you please let me know where that direction is, etc. And then start building that conversation. I know there are a lot of introverts in this world, and I know social anxiety is quite a prominent thing to talk about. And I was socially awkward, and I had social anxiety, and I think everyone would have that as a nature of a human being. But that builds up once you learn how to do it. So my suggestion to you guys, and my advice, is to go out there and ask people what time it is. And next time you'll be like, ask what time it is, and say where Parliament Station is, or where Melbourne Central Station is. Once you get that going, you build some confidence already. Then you try more things, more and more and more. That's how it led me to singing in public in the mic. It's crazy. Check out my videos. It's mind-blowing. I don't know if I can do it now. Probably will, because I already went through that. But it's more about the building your confidence, and off you go. Thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate your all comments. I'm reading them. I'm replying to every one of them. Thanks for 69 precious subscribers. I literally appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And hope we grow together. Hope you join the journey. And au revoir. Paka paka.